You're listening to KTSTFM. I'm Alan Ng, and you're listening to the Secret City Geek Lab. You just heard our movie review of World War Z, and now we're going to move on to our next movie, and that's This Is the End. This Is the End is a American apocalyptic comedy film written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, and starring Seth Rogen, James Franco, Jonah Hill, Gay Baruchel, Danny McBride, and Craig Robinson as fictional versions of themselves in the aftermath of the global apocalypse. Dimithri Perera had a chance to see this movie, and this is his review. All right, I'm with Dimithri Perera, and we have a movie review of This Is the End, starring Seth Rogen,
James
Jonah
Franco, starring Joe.
You know, we should just list the people who are not in this movie.
Okay.
All right. So Kevin Costner's not in the movie.
Yeah, Kevin Kline's not in the movie.
Phoebe Cates.
Phoebe Buffay from Friends. She's not in the movie.
Okay. Oh, and neither is Chandler. Give me a basic plot of This Is the End.
All right. This Is the End is about an apocalypse. They don't state up front what the apocalypse is. Could be anything.
It just happens.
Yeah, it just happens. Suddenly it happens, and all these actors are playing horribly exaggerated versions of themselves. It seems gimmicky. I was ready going into the movie thinking of a title for this review, and it would be, This Is the End of Their Careers. But it wasn't. I was totally surprised by the whole movie. I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was an amazing movie.
All right, what were some things in the movie that made you feel that way? I mean, from a story standpoint, fairly solid story, or was it just kind of skits to move things along and make you laugh?
No, I thought it was a very solid story. I didn't go into it thinking that it would have a solid story. I thought it was.
Well, let's go over it real quick.
Yeah.
So the apocalypse happens. We have our favorite actors: Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, James Franco, Danny McBride, so on.
Well, in the first couple scenes, everybody dies except a handful of these actors, and they're holed up in James Franco's house. I thought it would just be a stoner comedy, but it really was a satire of Hollywood, I thought. And the fact that they play themselves, horribly exaggerated versions of themselves, seems gimmicky. But the fact is, they were allowed to do so many things with that script because they were playing themselves that you wouldn't normally be able to see or be allowed to do in a movie. For instance, all the product placement. There was product placement for Carl's Jr., Milky Way, all the alcohol that they drank during the movie. All that product placement never seemed forced because it was at his house. It was taking place in the real world. And when they said they love Milky Ways, I'm like, I love Milky Ways too. That doesn't seem like a product placement because these actors love Milky Way.
All right, so the advertisers won.
The advertisers won, and it just wasn't forced. And there's some really gruesome deaths in this movie.
All right, so so first question I have, is it like Superbad, where a lot of language, a lot of vulgar language, so to speak?
Yes. Oh, it earns its R rating. There's because it's trying to be very realistic, albeit exaggerated. Yeah, there's so much cussing. There's so much violence in this movie.
And then, like you said, the deaths are pretty brutal.
The deaths are brutal because you're dealing with an apocalypse. And so, I'm not going to spoil what apocalypse it is, but it could be anything from zombies to aliens to biblical to just Obama. I don't know. But it just could, it doesn't actually state.
Okay. So what are some things you didn't like about the movie?
What did I not like about the movie? I loved every bit of it.
Right.
I loved every bit of it and kept laughing the whole way through.
No wrong.
The ending is amazing, especially for children of the 90s. The ending was amazing.
All right, so from a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate This Is the End?
It's a 10 out of 10.
There we go.
It's an amazing comedic satire.
All right, great.